Hey everybody! Today we are doing an unboxing video of a game called the Shores of Tripoli. It was sent to me by the good folks over at Fort Circle Games so I could take a look at it and share it with everybody out in the YouTube universe and maybe beyond. The game itself is about the first U.S. Barbary Pirate War 1801 through 1805, and looks like it's an intriguing game. Let's crack it open and see what's inside. All right, so first off, let's just take a look here a little bit at the box. So it's got some very nice cover art here. Looks like it is a period piece, maybe a painting of probably sailing into Tripoli, shooting at some stuff there. On the back, of course, description of the general time period, some of the pieces, maps, cards, etc. And 1 to 2 players here, about 45 minutes to an hour to play, and good for kids 14 and older. Huh, I barely make that age bracket. Whew. All right, and once we got the lid off, we've got the rules of the game. Looks like it is colored, victory conditions, game setup, how all of this stuff works, some solitaire rules, that'll be important. Altogether, looks like the rules, the normal rules, are about 10 pages long. Solitaire rules look like they're about 2 pages. And then we have a historical supplement and designer notes. This is a rather substantial little set of designer notes. Normally they're pretty small. So it kind of talks about the history of the conflict. And then into the designer notes, a bibliography, credits, lots of play testers. There we go. All right, and here we have what looks like a note from Jefferson. All right, I have to take a look at that later. All right, and now we got pieces. So we got lots of different colored 6-sided dice. This must be for our combat and other such results. Here we've got our pieces. So we have the ships, what look like little gold coins, little markers, and then here we've got a deck of cards. We'll crack that open and see what that looks like. And finally we have our map. So this is a mounted map. Looks like it's depicting North Africa, Mediterranean, sea there, Malta, etc. Pretty straightforward and substantial. All right, so looking at the components, we've got some different types of pieces. Here we've got the frigates, and we've got them in a couple of different colors. I think the Americans are blue, the Swedes are yellow, and if the Tripolitanians capture one of the U.S. ships, they'll have one too, and that's in red. These are kind of cool looking. They kind of look like a little sailboat, a little ship there. And so when you're playing this maybe with a friend, you wouldn't have them face down like this, but you'd have them tipped up so that they look like they're sailing across the map. Now, in addition to the frigates, we've got these smaller ships. These are called gunboats or corsairs. So if they are part of the pirate force, they're going to be either red or orange, which is the allies of the Tripolitanians, and the U.S. has gunboats that kind of augment their fleet there, and so you've got those pieces. In addition to that, we've got these little wooden gold-colored pieces that represent gold coins. The pirates are trying to acquire enough of these to achieve victory. And of course, if you're the U.S., you're trying to prevent the pirates from achieving that by blowing up their ships and interdicting their raiding parties. let's see. We've also got some other little pieces here which are markers for troops and supplies and things like that. So I haven't read all the rules yet, so I don't know how all that works, but we'll discover that together, shall we? And then last but not least, we've got a couple of decks of cards. We've got one deck for the Americans that has a very handsome visage of President Jefferson on it. And if we look at the cards themselves, they've got different artwork that is from the period or similar to that, and has then specific things that happen. So things that you're going to use then for activating or improving your combat or whatnot. So it's kind of card driven in that you hope that you keep the right cards and can use them correctly at the right time. Meanwhile, the pirates have got a similar deck. They've got a very scruggy looking person here who must be perhaps one of the leaders of the Tripolitanian forces during that time period. And oh, here it is. Maybe Yusuf Karamani. I'll have to figure out how to pronounce that. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments on how I should have pronounced it, but let me look it up first, okay, guys? And here we've got the various action cards and whatnot for the pirates. And with a lot of it, it's very pleasant looking cards. The material is very nice, and it's got, appropriate artwork on it from that time period, or from the time period shortly thereafter, it looks like. And last but not least, we've got lots and lots of dice here, different colors, obviously for the different types of combats or indicating the nationalities. So I suspect, like a number of other naval games, you're going to roll these, and if you get 5s or 6s, you'll sink something, otherwise you won't, and we'll see how that all plays out. And so this is how things look with the initial setup. U.S. frigates in Gibraltar, as well as some Tripolitanian corsairs, various reinforcements coming in for the U.S. over in Tripoli, corsairs and infantry to defend the forts, and then in Derna also infantry, and then in the supply boxes for both of them we have additional ships and some marines that will come in for the U.S. potentially, and then the Tripolitanians more ships, and then lots and lots of infantry. So we'll have to play the game and see how it plays out. Hey, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, and feel free to share this video out on social media with any other like-minded human beings out there in the universe. If you've got questions, comments, suggestions for future topics or games for me to look at, please make note of those in the comment section, and I will personally respond. Until then, be well and stay out of trouble.